Chase, the crisis of masculinity.
Yeah, so to get back to that, so do you guys agree that there's a crisis of masculinity?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elle, you seem not to think so. You don't think that there's too many weak men in the world? Or there's a decline of healthy masculinity?
I think there's too many. I mean, it depends on what you think weak is. I mean, I've been in the strip club industry before for years.
Come on. We know what weak is.
I
know
mean,
what weak is.
I don't think you're weak for having a fantasy and somebody being able to provide that for you. I don't think you're a weak person for having a fantasy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, I don't think.
Do you think men today are weaker or stronger than 100 years ago, on average?
Oh, I think everybody is weaker on average.
You think everybody is weaker?
Yeah.
Do you think
Everyone's way too sensitive now.
Yeah, everything's so
Everyone
sensitive.
takes everything way too far to heart.
Yeah.
And they can't just, to my opinion, if it does not affect you, why the fuck do you care?
Exactly. And if you have nothing nice to say, then why
let's
say?
zoom out a second. I would say one of the things that's making men weaker is the addiction to sex. Well, not sex. The addiction to pornography that many have nowadays. Would you guys say that that's accurate?
Yes.
Yes. Elle seems not to think so. Do you think so? Do you think addiction to pornography makes a man weaker?
Me?
Elle.
Sorry. I don't think you're weak, Daddy, if you like porn. I'm just gonna say that like that.
Of course, she's got a conflict of interest here financially.
Hey, Elle, since we have your attention, can you? I don't know if you see your angle here. Can you scoot Kiki like into frame? Because she's like kind of like been. You're gonna have to use your muscles though. So if you push her. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Wait, too much. Wait, back. Just. Yep.
Push myself back.
But you got to scoot back into your spot.
Okay.
No, you right there. Scoot that way. Can you scoot that way?
Me?
Yeah, that way.
Oh, okay.
And then scoot your mic along with you if you can. All right, cool.
May I finish the point that I was getting to?
Go ahead.
And then I have a follow-up point.
Okay. It's your water cup. I keep grabbing it.
Don't drink it.
Yeah. Do you guys think it would be better for the world if there were more strong men?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, okay, I personally, I just want to, serve. I'm very submissive to men. So if I had a strong man, who, not like how they are now, but, a masculine man who would provide and, make the money, I would stay home, cook, clean, do everything, raise the kids, everything for him. He would leave with, breakfast. He would go to work with lunch and come home to dinner and whatever else he needed. But men aren't like that today.
Will you marry me?
Yeah, let's do it. But
can I just chuck this at you or something?
yeah, totally. I hope it lands on my
Wait,
finger.
catch.
Okay, boom.
Bro, what are you doing, bro? You're dropping my ring that I paid for.
Damn it.
Is it broken?
It was
now?
so beautiful.
I mean, I think there are men like that out there today.
There certainly are.
But
There's also a huge decline of them.
There is a huge decline.
But there is,
of them.
and I think it's because of something in addition to what you guys are saying, which is
What
the
am I
crisis
saying?
of masculinity. There's a crisis of femininity,
What?
and it takes both of us.
Before we get to
Yeah.
that, the point that I'm trying to make. So you think, what did you say a moment ago? You think that there needs to be more of them? What did you say just 2 seconds ago?
That there's a decline in it.
There's a decline in it. Do we think that by increasing the amount of pornography that is available on the internet, we are potentially contributing to the decline of masculinity? Yes. That's one yes. That's two yeses. What do you think? Yes?
yes, and here's why. Because men being able to purchase a girl on OnlyFans is really not empowering the women, because it's saying, hey, you can just buy a picture of my titties online for $10.99 a month. And that to me is yeah, it's the opposite of feminist and empowerment. It's hey, a guy can purchase my boobs for $10. These are priceless. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's really hurting.
I think telling women that it was empowering to sell their bodies online for $10 a month is one of the most hilarious scams of all time.
Yeah,
It's
that's
ridiculous.
totally
There's no good
it's
role
back to
models
the,
for women
It's back
nowadays.
to the Alfred Kinsey guy, and Hugh Hefner said that he wanted to be the pamphleteer of the sexual revolution. He wanted to be the one to trick women into being Playboy bunnies and think they're empowered by being Playboy bunnies, when really he had the last laugh.
Yeah.
And I think that, we as women deserve better. And I think deep down men want to be better. So it's like, who's going to be better first?
It's difficult for a lot of men to become better when they are enticed in all directions by pornographic content, right? It's
Also
very
a choice.
difficult for a man. We are sexual beings, and like the male sex drive, it's freaking high. And when you're saturated from all directions with sexual content, it's hard to pull your mind out of it as a man.
And back to the whole empowering thing, OnlyFans has produced my entire income, and I do not feel empowered by it at all.
No, I don't think you do.
I feel completely degraded most of the time
I don't
when
think
I'm
you do.
speaking to these people. But
Yeah.
the thing is, I already knew that going into it.
Yeah.
I decided to make a fucking bag and get the plan for the rest of my life laid out.
And-
But
and
knew
I
it was
respect
degrading
you.
from the
Dominique, let her
beginning.
finish.
I respect you.
Just that. I knew it was degrading from the beginning. But it's like, you know what? I'm going into this. I have a plan, and you just own it.
If you could do it over again and make money a different way, would you? If you had an opportunity to make money a different way, would you do it over again?
I think yes and no. I first started right out of high school. I was 18. I was in college for 2 weeks, and I said, absolutely not. I'm going out to LA. And so I think yes and no, because at the same time, like, I am making a lot more money now than I would at many other jobs.
How much do you make monthly? You could ballpark it.
I mean, about
Fine.
$70,000.
A month?
Yeah, and
She
that's not
does.
even like a lot compared to some of these girls on OnlyFans. But I feel like I'm also doing it much smarter than a lot of these girls on OnlyFans are, because I invest so much of it.
Do you know what percentile you're in on OF?
I am in
Probably
the
top.
top 0.09%.
Wait, just really quick. You do OnlyFans. Anybody else here do OnlyFans? Just you three, correct?
No hidden OF, Justin?
Drop the link.
What do you
I,
invest in, by the
Jay
way?
Waller,
Everything.
69, OnlyFans.
You're very smart. No,
I have
I'm
an
not
OnlyFans.
judging you.
OnlyFans.com/whatever. Kiki's on there.
Can I ask them?
Just really quick on money. So you said you make $70,000 a month. How much do you make?
Between 30,000 and 100,000 a month.
Wow. Okay. And how much do you make per month?
I started
Just started. Okay.
I
so
just started, but I average about 6,000. That's about it.
impressive. Impressive.
That's with like no following and.
So
all
to
that,
to drive the point home, we're talking about the crisis of masculinity. We're talking about the fact that there's not enough real men in the world. I've heard from literally thousands of women in the past several months that have been like, man, I wish that there were more real men out there. I think a lot of dudes are having their vril, their life force sapped from their bodies from all of this pornography out there. And we've talked throughout this conversation about this idea that, hey, I have my morality as long as it's not hurting anybody. What's the big deal, right? What I want to know is, do we think it is responsible, if we're trying to create a healthy society, to increase the amount of pornography that's available to men? If we want to see the masculinity crisis fixed, is it a good idea to continue contributing to it with more pornography?
I have a follow-up question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Not to like drive away from what you asked, but do you think if all the top, let's say 25, even 50 or 100 top creators took their platform off of OnlyFans, do you not think that men would still find another girl to go subscribe to and get the same content, or go on Pornhub and do the same thing? Also, to counteract that, do you think that the men that are on OF, it's primarily men? The people that go in strip clubs, primarily men. You can't be mad at a woman for making her bag when you're the reason that there is a bag there to begin with.
Here's the
That's a fair
question.
point.
Here's the question
Fair
I
point.
have. How many married men do you guys have subscribing to you?
About 40%, probably.
40%.
sad.
Probably
And
more.
some of
So
them have
sad.
their wife in their profile picture with them.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
Some of them
how
have
many,
fantasies about you being in like fantasies about like their wife finding out or something. Like
Or
they're-
couples, I have couples
yo.
who subscribe.
You
They
never
watch
know.
my content together and it brings them closer together. I love it.
But here's the thing though.
I bet that's such a small percentage. I bet a lot of husbands, their wives don't know, and if their wives did find out, they'd be fucking pissed.
I had one guy
That's
admit to
true.
me that
That's
he
true.
had to get off OnlyFans because his fiance found out and was like, either we're done or you get off OnlyFans.
I had a guy. I'm sorry. I had a guy or a woman message me last week. She said, I just found out that my husband has spent $30,000 on an OnlyFans hoe. What should I do about this? Should I divorce him? In my opinion, in my opinion, if a woman was in that kind of situation, she should leave him. So here, I'm curious for you two. If you guys got married and you found out that your husbands were spending tens of thousands of dollars on other women's pornographic content, how would that make you feel?
That's hard to say. I feel like just because, like,
Is
obviously being in this industry, it's like me and him both do OnlyFans. We both make content, and so it's like, and obviously, I mean, you guys are gonna watch porn either way. I personally don't have a problem.
Don't put that on
with it.
me. I'm not going to.
Okay, but Jordy, 95% of men are going to be watching porn.
I don't
Not-
think
not
that's
if
true.
the-
You're
not
gonna
if they're-
at
I
least-
just
you're
wanna
gonna
make
at
sure
least
that-
crave sexual
Your
gratification.
your
no?
boyfriend is
Wait, you're
doing
celibate,
content.
right?
He has a-
Unless you're
How long have
asexual
you
or
been-
celibate.
his
you're going
the people that subscribe to him are probably men as well. Is that correct?
It is about it's
It'll be a
about
high percentage.
90% gay
Yeah.
men and
Yeah.
about 10% women.
Right. Yeah. So the problem with this is this is why men should take responsibility. Men have always led the world. Let's not act like that's not the case. We invent, build, and maintain society. The fact that despite how beautiful you are, you're stunning. The fact that you can make more money than the motherfucker that paved the road for me to get here is a joke.
Yep.
It's a fucking joke, and it's broken. Now, that's not disrespect to you, but one thing I will say about Dubai, if you want to bring Dubai back up, is that you can't do that shit in Dubai.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't. You can't even get on a porn site in Dubai if you wanted to. And one thing
What
I
would
think
they
that
do to you if in Dubai? Like
you just can't do
head
it.
chops? Head chops?
No. They take it away, and for that, I will say when I'm in Dubai, not only is it safer, but you see more families in Dubai. You see kids. You see things like this. It's a beautiful thing, and. You know, I'm all about people having their free rights and everything, but I do think Dubai gets that right, because if America doesn't do something to save the men so men can be good enough to get good, beautiful women like you ladies, then we are always going to have this problem regardless of religion.
This is why we should ban porn in America.
I'm about
agree.
it. I'm for it. Look,
Let's
if we
go.
agree on anything,
Let's go.
we'll ban. Look,
I'm
we can
really
ban
so.
porn. I'm all about banning porn
It's
because
so
what's
funny.
happening.
It's so funny how the women are more upset about it than the guys right now.
Well, no, look,
'Cause
but
we're trying to
the
freaking save
point
our
is,
country.
but the point is
We care
this.
what's happening.
The point is
But the
this.
thing is,
Go ahead.
One quick thing is, perhaps the women at this table haven't been hurt by a man cheating on them, or a boyfriend or something cheating on them and looking at porn or cheating with another person. But I know people that have been hurt, and probably we know people who have been hurt.
I have been.
You have been.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
So
And that's the point.
what's the golden rule, right? Do unto others how you'd want them to do to you, right? And so I think that's really, you mentioned a crisis of masculinity. I think there's a crisis of femininity too, because we set the standard as women, right? Like that's part of our role in society of saying like we're gonna have boundaries, we're gonna have standards for the men, and that they need to rise to the occasion for us.
But I would argue there's just as
And
many
the
male
reason-
feminists as there are women feminists.
Yes.
Well-
and
They're all
those pussy
simps.
motherfuckers are the ones that's messing everything up.
They're all simps and
Young,
losers.
beautiful girl would be much happier if there's a man that you could be inside of his frame and not be talking to weirdos on the internet. I know you make a lot of money, and I don't blame you for doing it. 70 grand a month, that's good money. But ideally for you, if there was a man that you could look up to, admire, want to be inside that frame, and you knew he had everything taken care of completely, you would put it down. And it's not anybody's fault but weak men that a young lady like this is having to do something like that, because there's no man around that she can identify as the
Traditionally, men
one.
are providers and we are the caretakers. And because of how, again, you guys were saying weak men, for that reason, I was raised where you don't rely on anybody. You get your bag by yourself, and that's for that reason. My household was very traditional, yet we were still raised because of how the world was turning, that you provide for yourself and you rely on absolutely nobody.